The Nassau Airport Development Company Chief Financial Officer Christopher Ryan said today the Bahamas has nothing to worry about amidst plans to increase fees at the country's main airport. Charisma Robinson tells us tonight that Ryan believes the Bahamas can't be priced out of the market.
New airport development so far. He added that one thing must be made certain: the Bahamas remains competitive within the region.
I'm just always concerned that we don't price ourselves out of the market. We have to always be concerned that our landing fees are not too high and that our taxes are not high, because what that does is it puts you in a competitive level that you don't want to be in. And when we do that, we have to understand everything else has to be consistent across the board, because if you're going to charge people, you got to make sure your product is at a high end at all times.
However, NAD CFO Christopher Ryan said the Bahamas has nothing to be concerned about when it comes to the charges.
This airport is very competitive in comparison to other airports in the region. We constantly benchmark ourselves against the aeronautical charges of other airports and passenger fees. And we're finding that even with the increases as we have got in the plan, we will be in the middle of the pack as far as our charges are concerned. We're not the highest, we're not the lowest, we're right in the middle.
The next increase in passenger fees is slated for October 2013, just prior to the opening of the new terminal on October 16th. Passenger fees for international passengers and U.S. passengers will be $40, and for domestic passengers, the fees will increase to $10. Ryan says, though, there is one important thing to keep in mind. He says the charges and the product line up.
The wonderful thing about this construction project, and the thing to keep in mind, is the fact that we are going to be offering a world-class facility here at a midpoint price and compared to our competition within the Caribbean marketplace. This facility is going to be one of the best that will be in the Caribbean.
NAD recently received the final funds and concluded all financing for the airport redevelopment project. The remaining $90 million the company received last month will finance Phase 3 of the project. A total of $877 million has been raised since 2007 to fund the project in 6 transactions. Ryan says NAD is extremely pleased with the public-private partnership formed between its management team and the government. Reporting for ZNS News Network, I'm Charisma Robinson.
Well, with NAD fees about to increase, Prime Minister Perry Christie has said officials are in place to ensure that the tourism market remains viable. He adds, however, that if there is reason for concern, discussions will commence to ensure that the country remains on top.
I mean, I assume in appointing a manager in NAD that they are not going to take steps that will be harmful to the tourism industry, and that they will be open to discussions from the board of the airport authority. The government has a board, the airport authority board, and they are actual members of the board of directors with the Vancouver Services, or whatever that company is called now, Vantage, I think. And so I think they're going to make the right decision. And if, in fact, there's a decision that causes the government concern, then the government will have to make an intervention to speak to them about that. So I do not envisage decisions that will be harmful and act as a disincentive to airport traffic and airlines coming into the Bahamas. It wouldn't make sense.